Right people, so it seems every week we get a new leak regarding colours in iPhone 15 that completely contradicts everything we've known, because just when we thought we were pretty confident about which colours to expect, we have a new leak that paints a completely different picture, so let's delve into it. In the past, we had heard the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus will come in pink, blue, green, maybe a yellow, and of course the usual midnight starlight rubbish, and also product reds. However, 9to5Mac in their new report says, no, we're not getting that, we're getting black, green, blue, yellow, and pink instead. And I'm a little more confused about this supposed range of colours. And by the way, would like to remind you guys, like this video and subscribe for more content like this, it would be appreciated. You see, while I'm glad the horrible midnight finish is allegedly dead, it's weird they think there's not going to be any new white iPhone 15. Surely Apple won't get rid of a neutral colour, because there are those who don't want snazzy colours, they want to be boring, and so black and white were safe options you could go with, especially when Apple's more exotic colours look completely different in person compared to how they're portrayed on Apple's website. I remember thinking the iPhone 12 red looked so good on Apple's site, and then I got the phone and I was like, hey, this is not red. So yeah, black and white you could depend on usually looking like black and white. However, I do want to mention that Apple got rid of space grey or any form of black option for the iPad 10, which was surprising at the time because that's their most popular iPads, and surely a chunk of that user base is allergic to fun colours, but no, Apple forces you to have some fun colours in your life. So I guess I could see these range of colours materialising, but one more thing I want to mention is the absence of another iconic colour option for the regular models, and that's product red. This has basically been a staple of the iPhone range since 2016, so I highly doubt Apple's gonna get rid of this, especially when it's not just a random colour, it's part of a strong partnership they have with the charity Product Red. Has Timothy stopped caring about starving children? I hope not. And so that's why I have a feeling this is going to be the spring colour for this year, because remember we did see the iPhone 7 and 8 reds launch in March in their respective cycles. Now, not only does 9to5Mac tell us which colours to expect, but they also show us the shades, and these sure are underwhelming colours, guys. When we, for example, first heard about the blue and pink iPhone 15, 9to5Mac themselves did share some hex codes, and they were basically everything I wanted. They were bright, vivid, popped, very similar to the iPad 10 colours, and I was super hyped because basically since the iPhone 11, we've had these pastel hues across the range, and so I thought, hey, we're finally going back to the good old iPhone 10R days, let's go! But 9to5Mac's newest report basically invalidates everything they said in their previous report. Just when I asked Timothy to calm down with the pastel hues, he decided that, hey, let's make the colours even more muted. I honestly don't know why Apple's allergic to just giving us a bit of saturation with their colours, because these are so freaking pale, guys. And what's worse is that I was so excited for a 10R like blue to make a return, but my dreams have completely been crushed. I can't handle this heartbreak. Tim, you really could have got me to buy an iPhone 15 I don't need. But no, you just had to ruin the colours and ruin my day. And things continue to get worse, because when we move to the Pro iPhones, as you can see, these colours are even more dull. So for one, the flagship blue is basically a rehash of Pacific blue, and I was never a fan of that colour. Yes, I love my blues, but this looked grey in most lighting, and frankly, Sierra blue was a far superior shade. And what's sadder is that this brand new blue is darker and greyer than Pacific blue, which is fantastic. Also in this report, we have yet more confirmation gold iPhones are dead, and it's being replaced with another grey that looks hella boring. Like literally, if you think about it, Apple's genuinely just offering 3 different shades of grey with iPhone 15, because this new blue is going to be a darker version of Pacific blue, which of course already in most lighting looks grey. The Titan grey might have a fancy name, but it's just your bog standard grey. And as for space black, yes, it's going to be darker than the old space grey, but as someone with a 14 Pro Max, I can confirm for you guys, this is still more of a dark grey. So yeah, it's 50 shades of grey for the Pro phones and 50 shades of white for the regular phones. Now we do have dummy models that have leaked and show us how these colours look in real life. And yeah, my thoughts really have not changed. I'm still not a fan of these colours. Obviously it's possible the real finishes could be better, but at the end of the day guys, I'm just crying inside because they've absolutely butchered the blue. It's so stale. And yes, they might have had issues with the titanium on the Pros, which is understandable, but they've literally been using aluminium for years, and we have iPads with super bright colours, so please, give that to the iPhone as well. Anyways, these models also show us the new design, but I'll be honest guys, I cannot see much of a difference with the chassis that's supposed to be rounder, because this basically looks like the iPhone 14 from the sides, and this is technically supposed to be a supercycle, but guys, the design changes are very minimal. Moving to USB-C, we have more confirmation the regular models are being limited to USB 2.0 speeds, and I know the techies are all up in arms about this. How dare Apple do such a thing? But if you think about it, most consumers are not transferring things very often with their phones. They usually just use the port to charge their phones, and especially when the regular phones lack ProRes, I have zero issues with this, and I doubt many consumers are actually gonna care about this omission. And if you're a techie and you want the Thunderbolt speeds, you're gonna buy the Pro anyways, and that should still offer this. Now we have heard about some contradicting rumors about which spec Apple's gonna offer, because there are a million variants of Thunderbolt out there for some reason. On one hand, we have Minchi Kuo telling us iPhone 15 Pro is gonna support at least USB 3.2 speeds, aka Thunderbolt 3 speeds, but another source called Kostami says we could see Thunderbolt 4 speeds up to 40 gigabits per second, which I believe is the same standard the iPad Pro supports, so I'm leaning towards that source being right. Either way guys, compared to Lightning, this is going to be a radical upgrade, and so for those transferring ProRes footage, this will be clutch. Now we're not sure if a cable that supports these speeds is actually going to be supplied in the box, because with the iPad I just mentioned guys, that comes with a regular charging cable, and of course, Apple forces you to go out and buy a Thunderbolt cable if needed, and honestly, I'm not against that. Yes, some might think Timothy is scamming us, but as I said, most consumers don't transfer things very often, and if you do, you're a techie and you make up a very small portion of users. So why is Apple going to supply a $129 cable in the box when 0.00001% of consumers are actually going to utilize it? Anyways, we do have images of a new cable. Yes, very exciting leaks. I've never seen a cable before. But anyways, this might be the cable Apple sells separately if of course you want those insane Thunderbolt speeds. It's 0.8 meters long, which is shorter than the current 1.8 meter cable they sell, and that should hopefully result in this being cheaper. This also supports up to 120 watt charging apparently, but guys, don't get too excited, hold your horses. That does not mean the iPhone's going to support this. I doubt Apple's ever going to give us ludicrous charging speeds like that. As the rumors have been pointing out, expect 35 watt charging to be the max for the iPhone 15 series. Anyways, let me know your thoughts in the comments, make sure to like and subscribe for more content like this, and thank you for watching.